You are listening to the Pencil and Paper Podcast Network. Visit pencilandpaperproductions.podbean.com to find more great podcasts.
Welcome to the Palace of Megapixels. This is Super Mega Crash Brothers Turbo!
Welcome to Super Mega Crash Brothers Turbo. I'm your host, Stephen White. With me, as always, my co-host, Lacey Finley.
Happy Monday.
I rushed through that like I'm in a hurry, and I'm
I
not.
know. Like, where are you going, man? Where are you taking off? Where's the fire?
Nowhere. I'm excited. We're back.
I know. It's been a while since I've seen your face.
Yeah.
But I actually got to see it in person, so at least
You
that
did.
helped carry over for a while, you know?
That was fun.
Yes.
Our break.
Yes.
I know all of you heard our escapades on
Our
our
tomfoolery.
mini pods.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
no, it was a fun time. We got to see each other in person, hang out, and just do whatever. I will say, now I'm going to tell everybody what you did.
What I did.
Oh, yeah, because
Okay.
I find it fascinating what happened because
Now I'm
of
curious.
it. So, as most of you know, I live in Tennessee. Lacey lives in Illinois. Mm-hmm. And she was telling me, hey, there's this brewery in Chicago.
Oh, yeah?
And you know, if you want us to bring you some of that beer from there, you want to try it, you know, we'll send you a list. And I was like, oh yeah. You know, new beer from a new place? Yeah, absolutely. So I look on their website and I see all these different beers. And I'm like, ooh, that would be good. That would be good. That would be good. Now, I assumed after I sent this list, Lace was going to get like a single here, single there, and just make like a little 6-pack out of these selections. Uh-huh. No, she buys a 6-pack of every single beer that I asked for.
My bestie needs beer.
Which I did appreciate. Don't get me wrong. Because I looked at it and I was like, holy crap, that's a lot of beer.
Yeah.
Now,
You want beer, you get beer, baby.
now, do you think I had trouble getting all that beer down?
I mean, maybe more than a day or two, at least.
I mean, it took all week. Like, the entirety of the week. Mm-hmm. That said, I was done with beer for a week after. Like, I just didn't want beer. I was like, you know what? I'm good.
Yeah?
I think I'm beered out for right now.
Was it at least enjoyable beer?
It was absolutely enjoyable beer. Like I said, I'm not complaining about the beer at all. It was just so much beer that I didn't think I would ever hit a wall with beer and say, you know what, I'm good.
Oh.
I don't want any.
Well, I'm glad I could be a part of a first.
Yeah. But, I'm back on beer. I'm not, it didn't last long.
You were crazy about it. You took a few days, right?
It was just like, I had to reset. Like, my body was like, whoa. Just... give me a break, please, for God's sake.
Let's have a water. Yeah.
And which we did. We flushed it out, and then now we're back. So that's good.
Fight and shape, baby.
Yeah. While we were away, we've had a few things happen that I want to touch on. First of all, Cinema Salsa, which is my new podcast with co-host Philip Peck, whom I met doing some film projects in Nashville. We thought it would be fun, because everybody's doing film podcasts where it's just like, hey, we watched a movie, let's talk about it. Mm-hmm. We wanted to do other topics where it's film adjacent, but we're talking about the things that incorporate into the films or the things behind the scenes.
Yeah.
And thus far, it's been kind of topical. What does this mean? What does that mean? We'll probably find a few other interesting topics over time. But I hope people are listening and enjoying maybe, something different, That was kind of the idea. I didn't want to do the film podcast that everybody else does. If I want to do that, I'll go on their podcast if they invite me on.
Sure.
But because I'll talk about a movie all day. It's just, I've never been invited.
Sure.
Once or twice.
Well, now that you're dipping your toe into the film world podcast. Maybe now.
Maybe.
So we get a
We'll see.
whole new group.
Furthermore, I finally released the first episode of Super Mega Crash Adventures.
Yes, I'm so excited.
And I mean, I don't know how anybody feels because I'm not hearing comments.
Nobody commented. But sometimes no news is good news.
Yeah. I mean, I will say if you go look at the view count, it's over 2,000.
People are watching.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
That was exciting.
yeah,
Especially for us giving you all no time.
no
to
time
even
at
know
all.
it was coming up.
So it's got me.
I found out the same day it aired, if that makes you all. It's like, oh, we're doing it today. Okay, let's go.
Yeah, I threw it out there. I'm sorry. Yeah, it's getting me assessing the other 3. I'm working on the fourth one.
The fourth.
Yeah. So let me know what you thought. You know, you can add us at Twitter.
Yep.
And just say, hey, you know what? I want to see more. I'm excited to see more. And then I'll release episode 2. I'll release episode 3. I'll release episode 4. And then I'll probably finish episode 5 at some point.
Give him the nudge.
Yeah.
The nudge.
Because
I think they get better, personally.
I'm in a mindset. And funny enough, when I look at episode 1 compared to, we'll say episode 4.
Okay.
You can tell that the animation improves, as weird as that may sound.
No, you could tell you were getting the hang of it.
Yeah, because I was trying to find little things, even just the slightest, tiniest little things, to improve how the characters act, move, just anything. Like my character, I have made him so animated when it comes to his facial features.
It's adorable.
Mainly because it's plausible, you know. Like I've tried to do that with your character, and it's tricky. But I try, like, any chance I can to try and add a little bit more emotion, because I don't want everyone to be stoic and just. That was one of my biggest fears, is just standing there and just listening to dialogue over a still photo, because these characters don't really have features.
Sure.
So that's why I've tried to make my character animated as much as possible. Like, how would he talk? How would he move? Like, would he move his hands? Would he gesture? What little things like that. So even if it's just slight, just minor little movements, I feel like it adds to the scene.
Oh, yeah.
You know? And I've even thought about, because I didn't do this, and a little behind the scenes of the curtain there.
It's not just magic.
In episode 1, you'll notice that my character blinks a lot. And I tried to pace it to a normal blink cycle. Like, how often do people blink? So I thought about every 3 seconds. Why not? Seems about right. I didn't do that with the episodes afterwards. But I've thought about adding it back in, because I don't know if it makes a difference. And I know that in other
Maybe
animation...
I'll have to stare at it again.
Yeah.
With that in mind.
Because it feels like a natural thing to do. And I was trying to, I don't want to say rush, but it wouldn't be that hard to add them in. The more I think about it. It was just one of those things that I was like, eh. Because again, animating my character is more difficult than, say, animating yours. Like trying to get the mouth movement to match what you're saying. I just have to pace it. Mine, on the other hand, I've tried to make sure that he's not just a flapping mouth, but you see, if I'm saying to, I'm making the face.
Like the O.
Oh. Yeah. So it's very particular about how I say things. And if I don't, like, if I can watch it and I'm hearing my dialogue and it just doesn't match, I sit there and I'll tool with it until I get it right. And sometimes that's frustrating.
Oh, I'm
because
sure.
I'm not quite sure. Yeah, and that was one of the reasons I kind of took out the blink, because I was like, you know what, I'm just, screw it. It's a blink. Who's going to notice?
Probably I didn't.
Yeah.
I hate to say it.
But at the same time, I kind of want to add it back in, because I feel like it adds a little layer, even though it's not a big deal. but I feel like it adds something to the characters. Like it's like we're alive. You know?
Little humans.
Yeah, just a little something. So, we're working on we're making a change to episode 2, so it might be a minute before it comes out. But at the same time, it's also got me looking back on it and doing what I do. Which
don't pick at it.
I know.
You'll sit there and pick at it to death.
I think it's just one of those things where I look at it and I'm just like, okay, well maybe I didn't match that up correct. So maybe I could tweak just this one little frame and then the mouth movement will be right. Yeah. And then I'll be satisfied.
Well, I can't stop you from things like that because I could see that annoying me too if it was my creation.
Mm-hmm. I want it to be good. I want it to be so good that people will just like enjoy the hell out of it, but people got to watch it.
Sure.
And
we got to get it out there first.
where my brain gets out there. And anyway, it
was fun though.
Yeah.
And maybe we should give a little bit more of a heads up for the next one.
Yeah, next time I'll give you
at least a day or two. Yeah.
How about a week?
A week is great.
Yeah. We'll promote it every day for an entire week.
Get those little sub buttons going or whatever it is, the bell. Hit that bell. That's what they say, right? So you can be notified.
And for the longest time I wanted to create a trailer for it all, and I never did. So I guess that's out the door now because there's no reason. It's out there. Here it is. I mean, I guess I could just promote it elsewhere, but I just don't. I could never wrap my head around it. Like what is the trailer?
How to build it?
Yeah. I've thought 100 different ways, and I can't come up with a proper trailer.
Well, I've never given it thought, so you'll have to give me some time to think about it. I don't know why it never occurred to me. The things that does and does not occur to me might be a little frightening at this stage in the game, huh?
I mean, if you come up with anything, by all means, pitch it.
I'll think about it. Yeah,
open.
Give it some serious thought.
So
at least I know the plots. So
yeah, exactly.
I was involved in recording, so.
So it's been a month. Mm-hmm. What have you been playing?
Oh my gosh, you'd actually be proud of me, I think. I actually played some games, man.
What'd you
play?
I
wrote them all down. So the biggest feat that I'm actually proud of myself about, I got through Persona 4 Golden.
Oh, wow.
And that's a commitment.
Yeah.
That's a long game. I was very impressed because it has been, I couldn't even tell you how long it's been since a game that long has held my attention to the end. I loved it. I freaking loved it. I want more of them on PC now, please. So I can play more of them. I mean, I know I still have 5 on the 4, but we've discussed that, we have the one TV, the one console, 2 gamers. It's not right for me to hog all the machines.
Sure.
So that's, again, being a long commitment. But I really loved it. It is long. I think my first was like 80 hours. Mm-hmm. And then I went back to a prior save because I'm one of those people who I could see how it was going throughout the game where I'm like, where choices would be made and like you kind of have to go with it. I made like so many save points when like certain big things happen because I'm like, if I just want to see the story on blah, 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 I could probably come back to here, go a different route or befriend a different person and see anything. So I was in my head not having to replay the entire game because that was never going to happen. So I got both a true ending and the golden ending because of me doing it that way, because I just went back to a certain date and then worked on the one friendship that needed to happen for a thing. I don't want to give out a lot of spoilers. The game's been out forever, so I don't know what line I need to walk here with y'all. But there's like 6 different endings apparently, and I saw it out too. So playing it that ending again with the added bits to the ending was probably like another 15 hours though. I'm not gonna lie. So like even cutting out the full, it was still a long haul. But loved it. If you're into, JRPGs and things like that, just the tomfoolery and the ridiculousness of it all, I recommend it. I'm here for it. I love it. I want more. Okay. I wish I would have been playing all the little handhelds now because it looked like that's where the bulk of them had come out over the years when they finally made it to the stateside, or the western side. I also played Last Stop, which released while we were on break from Annapurna.
Yep.
I finally got indoctrinated. I bit and I got Game Pass. I'm finally one of those. I saw how many games on there I wanted to play, and I did the math in my head and how often I actually replay a game, and it just made sense. So they got me, man. They finally got me after all this time for the PC side. So that was the first game I played on there, was Last Stop.
Okay.
If you like story-heavy featured games, I can recommend it. You get to see it through the lens of like 3 different characters. It's a weird story.
Yeah.
But each of them have their own little bizarre story that will eventually kind of come together in the end. And I don't want to say more than that. It's an indie game. First run only took me about 6 hours, so it's not even asking a lot of your time. And I could see it being replayable at least once through, because you could tell where there were some choices that you would make a little bit differently that might change how people react and things toward you in the end.
Mm-hmm.
I've not done another full playthrough, but I could see where a possibility for a second for sure would make sense if you want to see more of it. Okay. And then I had 2 FMVs release on me also that I got through. I know. The List, which honestly, never heard of this person. I probably should have been a good indie fan and actually got this guy's name, because I'm pretty convinced Solo wrote it, shot it, was the actor. It kind of like a Her Story clone. I hate to say it, but where it's like you're watching videos, typing in keywords to unlock more videos, like you're sitting at the computer screen, you're doing that research because of whatever crime happened here.
Yeah.
Not bad. I hate to poo-poo on people's things, but not great. But the story was interesting because it was kind of like this weird version of our world where like certain historical people that existed and did a certain thing in our world that we know it to be fact, not necessarily the case there. And I feel like if you hadn't seen most of all of the videos, you'd kind of be confused, but interesting in how he wove it together if you could catch it. Because the only downfall I really feel like with this one was that the main video, I think, that you finally have to discover that just kind of blows the whole thing wide open and actually can trigger endgame for you, it's too hard to find, man. It's too hard to find. Like, if you had no idea about what kind of world he was trying to set up and who actually existed and did what thing, I don't know that you would have caught on to what keyword to type in. And I'm going to be terrible when I admit this to you. I got frustrated and looked up the game video files. I was like, what in the hell am I supposed to put in here? And I thought I was even putting in names that made sense to me and all this kind of stuff, and never could. And so, yes, I was that person who had spent enough time on it that I was just like, at this point, I'm just watching the same thing over and over and over and over and over again because I'm not finding what the keyword was. So, yes, I watched the video in the game file so I could get a word to type in to unlock that damn thing. And that was all I needed. Yeah. I had like everything else unlocked. It was so weird how I managed to get that far along and not trigger like the last video. Yeah. But it was like $2 worth the price. If you like FMV, I still think you would enjoy it.
Oh, $2.
Just be on the lookout for that last video. It might piss you off trying to figure it out here. And I want to be, if you are FMV fans, let's see. I just want to make sure I get this person's name. And they had Dan Trimble. So from what I can tell, he wrote it, he filmed it, he edited it, he made it, he started it.
Okay.
From what I could tell in the Steam discussions from his engagement with, I don't know if you've been on like the Steam forums and stuff and went through there, but when they have just regular discussions, walkthroughs, whatever.
Right.
And then Wales Interactive put out published Nightbook FMV, which came out. And interesting storyline. But I feel like this is the first time where unlocking all the other videos, I can't tell what's new.
I got you.
Like some of them are way too similar, but then at the end where it's keeping track of like how many videos you've unlocked, how many endings you found, or whatever, like it's going up each time, but I couldn't tell you a freaking thing that was new in some of it. So that would be my only downfall on this one is like if I am in fact unlocking new videos, there's not enough differences in them for me to be able to tell I'm watching anything new, except for when I hit tab, because usually with their games, after one full playthrough, you hit tab, you can skip videos you've already seen. Just so if you're like an achievement hunter, you don't have to sit there and watch the whole thing again.
Right.
Even though the first playthrough only took me like 45 minutes, because with these types of games, it is about doing the different endings and everything and finding all the videos. But that would be my only complaint. It's like, I'd be hitting tab going, I for sure have seen this, and it wouldn't move, and I'd watch the whole thing, and I couldn't tell you what was different about it, unless that feature's just having a little bit of a bug. But it's showing me unlocking videos. So I don't know. I think I got like 2 more achievements to unlock, because with FMVs, I will actually try for achievements, because usually that means there's new videos and things like that you can unlock. But love the premise.
Okay.
Because it's like your other shouldn't speak out of the evil book kind of thing. But I liked how they set it up, because it was a young woman who her work is like an interpreter online. So let's say like 2 businessmen across the world need to talk to each other about some business. So she would log on online and be that person to interpret. He speaks French, he speaks English. So, well, she can do both. But she can also speak Kanar, which is like this language that's close to the spirits and all this kind of stuff, you know. And because of her job and maybe doing this sale of a book that is written in Kanar, when it's spoken out loud, weird supernatural things are now starting to happen around her. So it was just the way they set up having the book read was interesting and new to me. You know, like we've seen Evil Dead, we've seen those and all that kind of stuff. But like, I was like, all right, like a modern way. And not having known the thing, she's like, I just speak the language. Cool. So read from the book to prove that it was real or what, you know. And then here you go. But my only complaint would be like, a lot of the scenes were not different enough. I couldn't tell if I was actually watching anything new or not.
Right.
And even when you get a different ending, it was kind of the same.
Weak.
Yeah, so there was a few that was different. So I'm not going to crap on it. I still think it was worth time. I think it was like $11. If you like FMV, I think this is an interesting new way. And that's not the only way you could discover reading for the book. I'll just throw that out there. So there are replayable aspects of it. But I just, you know.
Yeah.
When I play through it again, I want to see new stuff. If I'm not convinced I did, I'm not sure what's going on anymore.
I mean, that's not an unfair thing to want when you're playing a game.
I'm just that undetail oriented now in my older age that I'm just like, was there a bunch of new stuff there and I can't tell? You know, was there a twitch different? Like, I don't know. I don't know. Unless it's the curse of, well, this has to play along with that and they didn't cut it up in the game. So, like, it was shot together and edited together that way. So when you trigger it, there will be a part in there that's new, but you're not going to notice because the way it was edited in. I could be just making excuses, too. I don't know. But if you're a fan of FMV and stuff like that, I still think it's worth a shot. It's just I can't tell the difference in a lot of them.
That's fair.
And then I played about 45 minutes of Yakuza Like a Dragon last night before I decided to go make dinner and then watch Ted Lasso. So there you go. That was my day. How about you? Have you had any time over the summer? Get some gaming in?
Yeah. I mean, you would think I wouldn't have time because even when we were on break, you saw that I was still playing Assassin's Creed Valhalla.
Oh, I thought you beat it, though.
I did.
Yeah.
I did indeed. And boy, was that ending just abrupt. You know, it just...
Oh, is that the one that's supposed to have the DLC and everything, though, now?
It does have one in Ireland, and I think one coming to Paris or whatever, which I guess would be cool. But, I mean, once I hit the ending, as it were, I was just like, all right, I guess I'm done. Because with normal games, you have those moments where you get to the credits. Like, you have a definitive ending, and then that's that. There was no definitive ending. It was just like, here's an end to this story. Here's an end to this story. Here's an end to this story. There you go. And you're like, okay, what do I do now? Whatever you want.
Yeah,
You can go do whatever.
Or...
And I was like, all right, well, I guess I'm done. You know? I guess I like that closure. Just give me the credits, and then I'm like, okay, I know I beat the game now.
Right.
But you didn't. You're just like, well.
I hope that wasn't the original plan. You get the ending, like, after you get the DLC.
Mm-hmm. It was weird. It just made me feel like I didn't quite finish it, even though I did. You know?
Right.
Just feeling like I just gave up on the game. But, well, I guess the biggest issue that I had, or at least whatever disappointed me, is I went out of my way. You can find all of Thor's armor. You can even get the hammer. Like, you have to go hunt that down.
Yeah.
And I got it, and then I just really didn't get to use it. I actually just went out and picked a fight with somebody just to... I was like,
I want to use this, damn it.
Yeah. I want to see what this hammer can do. So, I don't know. I mean, I guess I could have played the DLC, but I didn't feel like paying money.
That's right.
You know, and I would have attempted to try and go platinum on this game, but Ubisoft and their wonderful glitches.
Oh, did you finally hit one?
Oh yeah, this was a side quest that just would not trigger. Like there was a side quest, I could see it. It was right there.
Like the icon on the map?
Yeah, but there was just no way to trigger it. And I looked up 100 different ways to try and see if there was something to do, and there was forums upon forums that have been going back. Yeah, for months. For months, and they haven't done anything about it. So I was like, all right. But yeah, the game is riddled with bugs here and there. Like, I even had one where I was stuck in an outfit that I didn't choose. And I was like, what is going on? So I had to take off my cloak and then put it back on, and then I was back in my... Yeah, it was just weird. I was like, all right, stupid. Well. So when I put that down, and I was done with that, I finally, and I say finally because I've had this game for a while, just not on PlayStation.
Okay.
But I finally played Evergate.
Oh, there you go.
In its entirety.
Okay, good.
Which, you know, some people would be like, well, if you had it on your PC, why did you buy it for the PlayStation? Because why not?
Right.
I want to support these guys.
That's your preferred way to play?
Yeah.
Support a good indie team?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I gave them more money than I've given them, and because I think it deserves every bit of it. Still gorgeous, still plays great. I did notice that I play very aggressively because my hand started cramping because I guess I was holding on to my controller.
You're holding the little light thing,
Yeah. I'm just, every time I'm doing something, I'm like, so I got hand cramps.
Yeah.
And I got pretty far in the game. There was a point where I, you know, like the very first level, I was trying to do the collectibles, and then I did the speed run. I was like, oh, yeah. And then at some point I was like, you know what, just, let's go. Because I can't do it because my hand's just sitting there like that. And I was like, no, I'll do that later if I feel like it. Let's just get through the story, and then we'll be fine. And I've gotten to a point in the story, I'm assuming this is like the last level, but I don't know that for sure. Like, the way everything was playing out, this seems like the last level. Okay. But I got stuck on one of the level sections, and I was like,
Sometimes you need a little break after a lot of puzzling. Yeah.
Like, my brain just couldn't. It was like, I know I can do this, and I just don't know why I can't think of it. So, and my hand.
How pretty does it look on the 5?
Oh, it looks gorgeous.
Oh, I bet.
It's just beautiful.
Yes.
And it plays great.
Yeah.
I have no complaints. So, and I got to see my screen name in there. Like,
oh, yeah?
Kickstarter people that they thumbed up. It was like, hey, there's my name. Because I forgot what I put in there. And it was like, hey, dude.
Well, you actually got Kai, didn't you?
Yeah. We got 2 of them, matter of fact. Yeah.
I don't think that I knew you had 2, or I would have been harassing you for the second one when I saw you in June. It's so cute.
Ta-da!
Look at him. He's so adorable.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Kills me.
It's cute.
Highly recommend.
Also, while we're on the subject of ghosts,
Yeah, look
since
at
that's kind of a ghost, I guess. Well, not a. You know what I mean. I played Ghostbusters Remastered.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it was cheap.
Fun?
Yeah, I don't really see where the remastered part comes in because when I looked at it, I was like, well, let me rephrase. When I looked at the cutscenes, wow, were they PlayStation 3 cutscenes?
Yeah.
Like you
Maybe
could
it's just so it could run on the new system.
I guess.
Little new dress, maybe.
But I mean, the rest of the game looked better than the cutscenes did, but at the same time, it plays like an older game. So I really don't know what they did to really polish it up per se, other than just kind of like refine some of the graphics a little bit. But I mean, it's not like groundbreaking, like, oh my God. Because I feel like if you did that game today with today's technology, every actor in the game would look like, oh God, they'd look
it's
damn
insane
near.
what they're doing today. It's almost downright scary how easy it is.
Yeah.
Using their phones, man, to do mocap. What the hell?
Like that to me would have been the proper remasters, to do everything to where the actors look more realistic. Not that they don't. But there was that janky PlayStation 3 teetering realism. Yeah. They look plastic kind of thing. But, I mean, it's a fun game, I guess, for what it is. If you want to play as a Ghostbuster, that's your best chance to do it.
Right now, right?
Yeah.
Huh?
I mean, it's not a bad game. It's just, just be prepared for
it being the same.
An older game. So,
well, that doesn't bother me.
No,
graphics aren't the end all be all for me in any video game.
It really does disappoint me that I don't understand why that story was not made like into a movie, because you have all the connections you have. I mean, it seems like a genuine continuation of what had come before it. And I don't know if you saw the new trailer for Ghostbusters Afterlife, but I'm excited about that.
I want to say yes.
There was one that came out sometime like before COVID, and they've released a new one like within the past week. Perhaps I didn't share it with you, but it gives a little bit more insight into the story. And I had just watched Ghostbusters 2 the day before it came out, so when it came out, like I got goosebumps when I watched it, sitting there going, "Oh my God, I can't wait for this movie." So, but it seems like that there's similarities to the story from what I've seen. Not to say that they're copying the game, but I think what the concept was supposed to be, like almost like this, because I've heard since the game was actually written by Harold Ramis and Dan Aykroyd, that was their original pitch for Part 3. And then they just reworked it for a video game since, I guess.
We have more time.
I guess.
I feel like sometimes that's just the case. You can play out a much longer story and encourage to in a game than in a movie.
But then from what I've seen and kind of picked up from this new movie, it's like they borrowed elements from that story and said, okay, well, since that's not technically 3, we're going to take those and move them over here. And then this will be Part 3, but we're borrowing elements to try and work this new narrative based on what's, available to us. Because obviously Harold Ramis is no longer with us, so you've got to kind of work around that. But I feel like they're paying homage to him in the film. I'll send you that trailer after we're done.
Please do. Hopefully it just
I'm
rings
excited.
a bell. And then I'm like, oh yeah, I've seen it.
2 I want to mention real quick before I get into the last game I want to talk about, because I briefly touched on these. Final Fantasy VII Intergrade, which was that additional story with a character from the original Final Fantasy VII. Okay. I got it. I played it for a little bit. I didn't progress farther. Like I played it for maybe like 2 hours, and then I was like, I'll come back to this, and I just haven't done it.
Yeah.
So I will.
Right.
Another thing I picked up, because it was on sale, and I wasn't quite sure what was in this package, and there's a lot of games that I do not know. But
Okay.
mainly the reason I got it was for like 2, maybe 3 particular games. It was like a bundle package called Double Dragon and Kunio-kun. Game series I've never heard of. Maybe it's straight out of Japan and they never brought it over here proper. I don't know. The package itself has Double Dragon 1, 2, and 3, which I'm down to play.
Yeah.
The other game I really, really wanted was River City Ransom. That was in there.
Okay.
The rest of the stuff, it's games, I guess, released by the same company. Some are sports, some are fighters, some are, I don't know. A bunch of games I'll probably never, ever play. But I thought, what the hell? I want to play some of these old games that I haven't played in a while. And damn it, if on Double Dragon, I still do not get stuck in the same damn part. I'm just sitting there going, why can't... You're giving me this... Yeah, give me infinite lives or something, please. Let me beat this game for once.
There's no God mode?
I haven't found it yet.
Okay.
So let's just say that. Maybe it's in there somewhere and I've
There's
just
a
got to
code.
unlock it.
Yeah.
Because it makes me, I want to play... I've done that.
Yeah.
I've done this.
I've done it, honestly. Now I
Yeah.
just want to play.
Just give me an option for infinite lives. That's
Yeah.
it. That's all I'm asking for.
There's probably some code. There has to be.
Yeah. But the last game that I played, and I was so excited to play, and I enjoyed it so much, was Ratchet and Clank: A Rift Apart.
Oh, yeah?
Oh my God, was that a gorgeous, beautiful, fun game. It's just so good. I mean, I swear to God, it's almost like playing a Pixar movie. I hate to use that as a comparison, but
Right.
it's close enough. Because it's so seamless from going from a cutscene to gameplay and back again. It's just, it flows beautifully. No load times at all that I could, I don't remember.
Is that supposed to be the new thing now?
Yeah.
Yeah?
So I don't remember any, obviously there's probably load screens, but you just don't notice them.
Well, it's just supposed to be so fast. It's just, rendering all that out. So by the time you get there, I don't know.
And what was interesting is...
I dumbed down the tech speak. In there, it's doing things faster, man, than we've done in the past.
Yeah. What was interesting, though, is that since they have these graphical upgrades that you can do, you have your graphic mode, your performance mode, and then some middle ground. I went with graphic mode, which was 30 frames per second, but you had all the ray tracing and all that stuff because I wanted to see how that would work.
Right.
I played through that, and I've had issues with the 30 frames per second on other games, but for whatever reason, I didn't even notice it here. Like, it played so well in 30 frames that I was just like, yeah, this is how we're playing it because the game looks gorgeous. Now, after the fact, because I was trying to get a platinum trophy, you had to kind of go back in briefly to buy an extra gun in New Game Plus. And when I did that, I bumped it up to see what the 60 frames per second. Like, oh my God, yeah. Like, I almost sit there and regretted that I didn't play it like that, but I was still impressed by what I did get.
Sure.
So it was just such a gorgeous game. So great. Insomniac just knocked it out of the park.
They do good stuff.
Yeah.
They do good stuff.
So I recommend that if you've got a PlayStation, Ratchet and Clank: A Rift Apart, definitely a must-have.
Nice.
If you like a lot of fun, craziness, and good story,
it
too.
Looks like just a lot of fun. I never played any of the other ones. I know. But, so I can't say I was as excited, but it looked good.
I mean,
It looked fun. I mean, I can't play it anyway, but.
Sure. No, I mean, I'll be honest with you. The very first one that I really, really got into was the, I guess, reboot they did prior to this one, which is just Ratchet and Clank. And that was the game that got me excited for this one. Like, I knew the series prior to this, and I probably played one or two of them, but there was just nothing about it that really did anything for me. Like, I remember this one. I think it was on the PlayStation 3, and I felt like it was like nothing like this. Like the gameplay was nothing like this. It had like a different feel to it, like 4-player shoot 'em kind of thing. I can't remember what it was called, but it was not this in any way, shape, or form. And it, it was like, okay. I mean, I guess it's okay, But I never invested in the characters. Now I'm invested. Now I'm all in. Because the last game and this game, amazing stuff. And like I said, great story too. Like, I don't even want to talk about some of the characters and some of their
You like spoilery?
Attachments and why they are the way they are, or who they are, and good stuff. Good stuff. I'll just say that.
All right, go check it out.
So a lot of games. Plus,
I playing games.
I haven't played this yet, and if he's listening right now, he's going to be so angry. But maybe I'll play it sometime today. Todd did let me have Returnal.
Oh yeah.
So I'm going to try that.
Why would he be mad though? I assume he's beaten it if he's.
Oh my God! Because this is I really hope he's listening. Because I'm going to call him out. You know
Sup,
what he
bro?
does? Yeah, you know what he does? He gives me a game, and then he'll be like, "Hey, did you play that game yet? No. Are you mad at me? No, I'm not mad at you, man. I just don't have time. I think you're mad at me." He does Todd things.
Wait, like you're mad at him, so you refuse to play the game and hold on to it?
Yeah. Like if I don't play it, he's
I think
like,
he might just have been sad that he's been now excited to talk to you about the game, and then you keep saying no, and it's like, damn it, Steven, but I want to talk about the game with you. I can understand that.
That is exactly what he would say, except angry. Damn it, I want to talk about this with you. Why aren't you playing it? Why are you mad at me?
I get.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Playfully, sure, but this is what he does. But
he's on
vacation.
Cloak it. You're still a friend. Like, I am mad at you, but like, come on, man. I just want to talk about it. And in head, it's like, dude, I've given it to you like a freaking month ago. What's the hold up? Come on,
Yeah, I mean, I do want to play it. I do.
Yeah.
I just, time. I'm not a time master or anything. So.
Well, you need to get on that too.
Yeah. So we'll get there. That's all I got. You got some news?
There was a good chunk.
Yeah,
Nothing that I don't think everyone's probably 100% aware of right now. I wrote for 2 scenarios.
Okay.
The scenario of Steven and I has a lot to catch up on.
Okay.
And then the scenario if we didn't.
Well, we've
drag things out longer. And
yeah.
I feel like we never disappoint in that area. We're 40 minutes in now? Yeah, exactly. We're back to our classic.
We had to catch up. There was
It's
so
been
much.
A while, and I actually played games on a gaming podcast. What? I know. It's unheard of. Whose life am I leading right now? Anyway, the summer we had a few things come out. I mean, granted, I didn't think anything huge had blown open, but then, the last couple weeks happened, and well, I'm not going to go into great detail about this because as I was checking it up this morning, it doesn't look like any real new details have come out just yet. But the Activision Blizzard horror show that is going on over there, the biggest news to break over the last week and a half. I don't even know how you would give a TLDR on this, but I know our siblings are very into gaming, and I'm sure have read this story, heard about it, and you have some really great people who have broken it down in a much better, more legal way, for some people. But gross. Like, I'm beside myself. Like, we had insight several years ago. I feel like we started hearing some rumblings, and of course, I want to say last summer when a lot of the gaming companies had a reckoning to deal with. And then it just, when you didn't think it would get worse, it actually got disgusting.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you're all aware by now that the state of California, DFEH, had been conducting a 2-year-long investigation into Activision Blizzard after discovering evidence that women at the company were, by and large, constantly facing discrimination. And then following that 2-year investigation, it seems like the state themselves found enough that they proceeded to put out a lawsuit against Activision Blizzard due to what they found. And it was unveiled to us in a bigger fashion on July 21st. which is where we became aware of just how egregious a lot of this was. So it goes into a lot of alarming scenarios. If you're the type that likes to go straight to the source, the lawsuit is up. It is long. But if you want the full scope of exactly everything that they discovered, they found out, what they plan to prove and go after, I do definitely recommend reading through it. It's much more beneficial to you to hear it from that first. And then maybe if you go to your favorite people to have a breakdown for some things you don't understand, because I don't know all the jargon myself. I'll put that out there, you know. But by and large, really, the lawsuit is alleging women obviously have been constantly overlooked in their workforce for raises and promotions. And now I'm going to say allegedly, as that's the area that we're in, although I don't think once the state steps in, I don't know. Anyway, it's just so gross that I'm beside myself all of this. So I guess stats around there had disclosed that roughly 20% of the workers at Activision Blizzard are women. So you already have kind of like a lower statistic with, of course, the top leadership, especially at certain times that these were going on, being exclusively white and male. That's not always the case, as we see with some of the people that were accused in this. But women also broadly paid less in their company for equal to or even more work in some of these situations. Extreme sexual harassment. They've been saying frat boy culture, although I think that's too calm a phrase, really, to sum up all of the stuff that has been alleged here. Nothing new that I could see as of this morning when I was going through this from stuff that we've been talking about. I mean, we did, of course, have over the week your higher-ups put out statements from... You know, J. Allen Brack put out a statement, and then Frances Townsend set out a statement, which I think was the one that really made everyone extremely angry. She had been with the company since March, just this year. And the response that she put out, basically, you could 100% tell was protecting the company.
Sure.
There was no real compassion in there for any of the people that were working there. And that's where I think we started to see where, okay, now we'll do a walkout. Now, if you think that, you know, this is the response we're going to get from what seems like a decade's worth of accusations going back pretty far, and then for it to be this egregious over the last few years for California to do a lawsuit. So as you know, they all organized a walkout Wednesday, I think it was, last week. It was about 3,000 plus virtual and, you know, in-house employees. Then, of course, Bobby Kotick put out his statement about how tone deaf he felt that their statements were. And coming from him really just kind of makes my skin crawl. I mean, I don't know if he's a predator, but he's also just like not a good person.
Whoa. No.
But he did let it go this whole time. And if you're going to make me think you didn't know for 10 plus years, I don't know, man. Like, it's just...
You don't think he's a predator?
Well, I don't want to...
No. I'm going to go on record. The man has raped somebody. Okay? I'm going to say that. I don't give a shit. Okay, he can go fuck himself. I'm getting angry thinking about this piece of shit because he's raped so many people in that company thus far. It doesn't surprise me that if there was sexual harassment. Yeah, he's a Harvey Weinstein looking motherfucker.
No, he's definitely a disgusting human, gross person. And with all of it that was said and done, and them even trying to say, you know, they've hired lawyers, they're supposedly working with them. And then, of course, you know, their whole response was just that, you know, the lawsuit was unfair. They haven't been fair to them. And that, you know, like their first response was just going on the defensive. Like they didn't do anything wrong. We were cooperating. Why weren't they, you know, doing it this? Look, if the state steps in, that's at this point, I'm led to believe this has been the case this whole time. I know it's just gross. And I don't know how you change things with the exception of getting rid of all those suits. I don't know that that'll happen. I don't even know how you would go about it.
I want, like, when they said that
I don't think you can continue with these people that have let it go on for this long. I don't think you can.
When they
I
said
wouldn't
that,
trust them.
when they said that the company or the staff was walking out, I was like, good.
Yeah.
I hope it continues. I want to see this company burn to the ground. I know this isn't the most positive thing, but people, if you do not understand where this rage is coming from, where all this... we have talked about Activision Blizzard so many times on the show. The
For
shit...
a myriad of things,
Yeah.
too.
A myriad of things.
A myriad of things.
They have done so many hurtful things to so many people. And I will never, and I know I did recently, but I will never, ever, ever, ever give them another dime of my money. Not that they ever make anything that I play.
That's what I was going to say. Like, I could talk a big game like that, but honestly, looking through their list, I hadn't played a whole heck of a lot of their games.
Yeah.
Just
like that Blizzard
wasn't
collection.
a genre that interests me.
Yeah,
But
the Blizzard collection was the last time that I purchased something, and even when I did it, it was nostalgia that sucked me in. And I was trying to think, well, you know, for somebody else, not them, but I mean, they're still getting a cut. I'm not going to do it. I want this company to fail right now. I want to see it go down. It's garbage. The people in charge are garbage. They're greedy sons of bitches who do not give a damn about these people. Of course they've let it go on because they don't care. They don't care. As long as they're getting their money, yeah, they're getting their $1 billion bonuses or whatever. And then while laying off, 800 employees at one time? 800
employees in a record profit year, mind you.
Yeah.
A record profit year. Yeah.
Go look into this stuff. If you have no idea what we're talking about, go look this up. Bobby Kotick is a piece of shit.
Oh, yeah. I've been wanting him gone for a really long time.
Yeah.
And my only thing is like the good developers that are working there that have had to put up with this and live through this. That's why I would hope there'd be just a changing of the guard, because I'd love to see them still be able to have their jobs and do their passion project and in a safer environment. But how we do that at this point, you're right. It's probably all just going to have to dissolve, come down, and start over. But I don't think you can improve things with the leadership you've had if you're going to keep the ones that you've had.
No.
Case in point, once this started going with the walkout and everything, Ubisoft wrote their own open letter to their company in solidarity with Blizzard, but still kind of asking like, hey, remember when we were back last summer also letting you guys know that we wanted change here? When's that going to continue?
Yeah.
So it's really, I don't even know how to articulate into words how disappointed something you love, like gaming and all this stuff, to be so infiltrated this horribly, to know I've been enjoying a product that came possibly at the cost of someone else's own happiness, feeling safe in their workplace, any of those kinds of things just feels, I don't even know that there's a word to describe how it makes me feel. Like, it's just,
no, I get it.
it's just no
People,
word. Or maybe I'm not smart enough to encompass it all with one word, but it's just, I feel so gross and bad and horrible for these people. And I don't want my hobby and things that I love to do to be at the sake of anyone having to put themselves through this or feeling like they have to further themselves in a career.
Right. Thus far, if you take a look, where a lot of this happens is coming from the big studios. This is one of the reasons we like to support indie games. Not just because
One
they're
of the several, yeah.
Yeah, creative endeavors for very talented people, but I honestly feel like that's what these people should do too. I know it sounds easy to say.
Yeah.
But if they could find a way to just say, you know what? Fuck Activision. Fuck Ubisoft. We're going to go do it ourselves because they are the talent.
Yeah.
All these other people, what are they doing? We're writing themselves bonuses. Yeah.
Making you release a game that's not ready yet.
Yeah, go out there, pull your money together, make your own game. Make the game you want to make. To hell with these people and their stupid-ass company making money off of you, breaking you.
Traumatizing people. Let's be real. This is real trauma that these people are going to live with for the rest of their lives.
Mm-hmm. I mean, look, I appreciate the work they do, and they've given us hours upon hours upon hours of entertainment. Mm-hmm. But I don't need that at the cost of somebody else. I do not.
No.
Do not.
No.
I'll stop playing games if that's what it's going to come down to. If I find that out, that every single game I've ever played has cost someone their mental health, physical health, then I don't need this hobby anymore.
Yeah. No, and I agree.
We're passionate. I hope people understand that.
It's like once I get this in my head and I get fired up, then like all the words that would make sense start to just in my head and I don't make sense anymore. But there is so much more here that obviously I didn't unpack that I'm sure all of you are like, what about this? What about this? What about this? We could make an entire show, a couple hours of it if we wanted to go over every single point.
And maybe we will at some point.
And maybe we will. And once this is kicked off and going, more details I'm sure will come out, more stories, more... we're going to see how this plays out here within the company. Like what changes will actually be made if it's falling on deaf ears. How easily they move the chess pieces to feign something's been changing, even though it's the same people. But I don't know. Maybe the employees now are going to keep that accountability out in the forefront if nothing's changed, and I hope they do. At this point, we need to just keep calling them out on it and hurting their pocketbook. It's the only way they understand these things. Oh, my God.
Remind me after we're done. I got to ask you something. Anyway, continue.
Okay. But, yeah, so we'll just keep our eye on that space, and I wish you well, and please, I hope it changes. I hope they fire the lot of them, honestly, because you deserve much better leadership than that. Hell, I think maybe you should be looking within those good devs right there to move them up, maybe. I don't know, but...
I hope that lawsuit does bear some fruit for the people who filed it.
I do, too.
A lot of good fruit.
I do, too. They deserve it. Speaking of us loving indies, let's try a more fun topic here. Annapurna did their very first showcase, and I have to say, fun.
Yeah,
they have some fun stuff coming down there. I've enjoyed Annapurna for a while now. They tend to find good devs. I feel like they find good games, or however it works in their world. I don't know if they come to them, they go.
they're like. Devolver, but they have the weirdness scale is
it's like
tamer.
All over the place. But I love it though. I love it. That's true. It is much more, or at least in advertising. I don't know. They might be just as fun and bizarre behind the scenes. But they had some fun games that I think we should talk about here because I'm looking forward to some of these. Obviously, Stray. That's been one that people have been talking about for a while. We got a little bit more of a gameplay trailer. Oh my God, I'm sorry. I'm going to go all like quote unquote chickish here, but it was so cute. The little mannerisms of the cat, even like the little ear twitches, like just little details like that. I was like, this is so great. Yeah. And just like that little open world element to it, the puzzler, it looks good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, looks gorgeous.
And it's
I want to play a cat.
It's a new idea.
Yeah.
It's a new, imagine.
When have you ever gotten to play a cat?
Well, in this sense, I mean, we've had like dumb cat games where you've knocked stuff off shelves and stuff like that, but nothing in this detail. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, where you're like legit a cat in a robot world, I guess. Like robots have taken over.
Sure.
But it's so cute. I'm here for it. I want more of it, and I am excited for this one.
This is one of those that's been on my radar. I want to play this.
Those tiny little details, man. Like, I just wouldn't think that it would make such a big deal, but it just made me smile the whole time when I'd see just like a little cat thing that you would totally see your little cat doing.
Or
it just
even
tickled me to death.
Even when he like walked up to, I think it was one of the robot people and just kind of did a little
they
rubbing across the legs.
Yes. And of course, when he knocked off the little paint thing, as part of the puzzle, I was like, of course, you better have him knocking stuff off of shelves.
It's kind of like the Goose Game idea where you just get to be, I mean, not to say that this is identical in
You're
that
not
way,
just being a cat being a jerk,
no.
right?
But you're being the animal in its kind of natural way, with a few tweaks, obviously. But the fact that they don't, it's not like you're a cat, but you're not like any other cat. You're, doing this weird stuff. You're a cat.
You're a cat.
You just have
Being
a few other little things that you can do, but you're a cat.
You're a cat. And it's so cute, and I want it. I want it. I love it. So yeah, on our list, we're gonna have to check that out when it comes out.
For sure.
The other one, Neon White. Now this looked interesting to me as well. I don't know what it is about like the card-based combat stuff that's been attracting me as of the last year or so, but looks like it's like a first-person action platformer that uses what they call a soul card system to attack foes, or even if you discard a card, it could give you a special ability or create a unique skill for you to be able to use in the moment. I mean, the art looked cool.
Yeah,
I was digging the art style for sure. Looked real slick. You play White, who's a dead assassin from hell. And as a Neon, apparently, I guess that's, you're the brain of people and special abilities and whatever. You have 10 days to purge heaven of a demonic evasion. And the fastest demon slayer will be able to stay in heaven. I love that game company. For some reason, 10 days is that magic number to fix stuff, eh?
Yeah. Who
Reading
knew?
through that, I was like, we've had a lot of games that you have 10 days. But Angel Matrix is the dev team, along with Annapurna there. So check it out if you haven't already. I'm sure most of our siblings watch the showcase. I would hope you're all watching that indie, giving it that love. But I'm going to keep my eye on that one. It looks fun. It probably will overwhelm me.
It didn't.
It
seemed
fast.
it looked like. I mean, it looked good, but the card combat thing is the thing that kind of made me go, I don't know if it's for me. But
And that's fair.
if I get an opportunity to try it, I would love to just to see, because looking at it is not playing it, and looking at it, I'm just like, I don't know. I'm set in my ways, I guess. I'm just like, I don't know.
We'll break you out of it.
It's new.
That is the one thing I can say for myself. I'm willing to try any different kind of genre, game, whatever. I'll give it a shot for like an hour or so, and then I'll let you know if it gripped me or not. You never know. Sometimes you'll shock yourself with one that you're like, I wouldn't have thought this was fun, but here we are.
Hey,
6 hours later, zombied in front of the monitor.
That's how I felt about Returnal until I actually played it, and I was like,
I was actually surprised because you didn't want to do the whole
because I was the
the
computer,
combat,
the generated world,
yeah,
procedurally generated world.
after you die, so you couldn't memorize.
I don't want to
things.
die.
Maybe it's to keep you from dying. It's supposed to be that extra, maybe run and hide more instead of running in. I don't know. I've never played it. I've only watched it. It looks good, but it's too spoopy for me.
I didn't play it all that much, but what I did play of it, it sucked me in a little bit to where I was like, all right, just a little bit longer and we'll see.
Maybe it's a good story, and that's what'll keep you put.
I still want to know how
for me.
far Todd. I said I'm curious to know how far Todd got into it, because he didn't even get that far in Assassin's Creed Valhalla.
He hasn't beaten Returnal yet. He's yelling at you about it.
Yeah.
God, we gotta talk about this, man.
Like, when I started-
you can't throw stones.
Well, when he gave me Valhalla, he was sitting there and saying, did you play it? And I'm like, yeah, a little bit. And then I started saying, hey, did you ever, do you remember this scene? And he's like, no. And I'm like, what do you mean, no? And he never got out of Norway, it sounds like.
He's trying to live vicariously through you.
Yeah. Anyway,
Okay,
continue.
that's kind of funny. Hitting on you, and he hadn't even played it yet.
I really hope he's listening today.
Yeah, we just talk all sorts of crap, and if you
Yeah.
don't hear anything about it, at work, then then we know, and we'll just continue to talk trash about him every time, because then we just know we're in the clear, right? Anyway,
Right.
love you, bro. So the other game that caught my eye, anyway, the Artful Escape. It looks like so much tomfoolery. I'm here for it.
Yeah.
It just looks so ridiculous, but it looks like such a fun time. Instantly, the colors and the art style was just like, ooh, what is going on here? What is this? And it looks like, oh man, I'm here for it. So set in 1972, you play a teenager named Francis Vendetti, who is a guitar prodigy, mind you, and is struggling with being under the legacy of a dead folk legend, Johnson Vendetti, in the family line. You know, they're all just freaking legends, and sets out on his own psychedelic journey to inspire his stage persona to confront this legend. In other words, to create something completely different that his will just rise through, and he'll of course be the ultimate legend, right? They nabbed some good voice talent.
Yeah, oh yeah, there was
that. When I was looking through it here, you got Michael Johnston. I tried looking some of them up because as siblings, you know me well enough by now. I ain't gonna remember no one's name. All right, like I have to go look up their face, and then I'll go, oh yeah, I know who that is.
Oh, yeah.
You got Michael Johnston, who was Corey in Teen Wolf. If you watched that series, it was the TV series. I did not, but I've heard about it. So we knew it was a thing and that people liked it. Looks like we got an up-and-comer, Carolyn Kinley. Couple of credits on the IMDb, so I'm going to say up-and-comer there to get to be along with that talent. Lena Headley. Mm-hmm. Miss Cersei herself. What? Yeah. I was actually kind of surprised by that one. I don't know why. Nothing against her. Their actors let them act. I don't know why. I didn't think video game for her, but I'm just typecasting people, and that's not right.
She seems like she's been popping up a lot here lately because she did a voice for the new Masters of the Universe series, and I saw her in a movie on Netflix called Gunpowder Milkshake. So she's keeping it busy.
I haven't watched it yet. Okay. Well, see, I don't follow her, so I missed all of that. So, all right, breaking into that scene too. Jason Schwartzman.
Yeah.
Which, like, I knew his face, but to be fair, when I was looking over his stuff, I'm like, I don't know that I've seen any of this. So, like, why do I know the guy? But in Fargo, which I did watch some of that, so I'll just throw that out. And then Mark Strong, who Dr. Sivana in Shazam!
Shazam!
Well, it's the exclamation point. That's how you got to say it. So I'm here for that one. That looks like fun. It looks like it's just going to be ridiculous and tomfoolery and silly, and I love it, and I want to play it.
Yeah, oh yeah. All for it.
I want it. Let's see. For you, I know you were interested in it. They did have an update on Solar Ash, a release date of October 26th this year. That looked like the big update was like, hey, now we know when it's coming out. So you let me know, because that one looks too brutal for me even.
It looked like it would be something right up my alley. I'm hoping it won't be that super difficult, brutal combat, but I think I could get into it.
I mean, it looks cool. I would totally watch someone play it.
Well,
I mean, the color and the art and everything would just draw me in to be like, okay, if there's a story here, I could sit down and do this. Let's see here. Okay, I kind of want to... Did you watch the trailer for Storyteller?
Yes. I'm trying to remember which one that was.
I went back and forth on this one so many times. I had to rewrite this little section with how I felt about it because my opinion changed on it so much within just an hour's worth of time. It was kind of ridiculous. So it looks like you're just playing a storybook is what it looks like. So you take a title, kind of like a choose your own adventure kind of thing. You get a title, a setting, and some characters, and then, you know, the pages will flip, and then you have however many cells they give you to create your story. So at first when I watched it, I'll admit, I was like, we're just playing an author and doing, it looked kind of like what you would do puppets in those old school, like curtain stages that they would set up. So I was like, okay, I'm not going to call it dumb, but I'm not the audience for this. I don't know how long this would hold my attention. Then I found out they had a demo. So I was like, all right, should I be fair? I'll play the demo. I should be fair, right? I played it for 5 minutes, turned it off. I'm like, nope, dumb. I'm not doing this. And then I was like 5 minutes late. Like, that's not fair. Like, finish the demo. Come on. So now I have since changed my mind again. I'm telling you, the emotional roller coaster yesterday. Granted, I still don't think this is something that I would play for like long periods, but I could see me being addicted to this for like a few hours for sure. It's more of a puzzler than you would think at first, because when they give you the scenario and the setting and the characters at the top on the next one is actually your goal and what you're trying to tell in the story. And sometimes it could get a little tricky for me figuring out what cell they needed to go in what spot to properly tell the story to get the end result we were looking for. So with all of that in mind, actually, I thought it was kind of cute. So as you could tell, I went through a lot of emotions. I rewrote this section several times. I was like, this is not for me. Then I was like, well, I don't know. This still seems dumb. And then I'm like, all right, yeah, I would totally be addicted to this for a while. At least once through, maybe. And then never touch it again. But it was cute. If you're into puzzle games, I thought that was a unique way to do it. I jumped to too many conclusions on face value instead of doing any real digging, and that should teach you a lesson right there. Don't do that. Don't do that. Actually look into a thing before you make your opinion, and then you don't have to rewrite a section about one damn game 5 times. Anyway, outside of that, was there a game I didn't mention that caught your eye that you wanted to chat about? Because, they had a pretty good, all of them looked pretty decent.
There wasn't anything that I can remember. I think you hit a lot of the ones that I was really into. Nothing else really nothing. I'm trying to remember anything, but I think you hit all the important ones.
Those are the ones that I thought that stood out to me. I'm sure there's several that maybe you siblings are into. Let us know. Did I miss one that you were totally into? Maybe there was a demo on one of these I didn't say that I should check out. I don't know. Let us know.
I do know there was one thing I was a little disappointed in. What was the one you were talking about before?
Artful Escape?
No, before Storyteller. The one that we're really looking forward to about the musician kid.
Oh yeah, the Artful Escape.
Artful Escape.
Yeah.
Was the platforms in which it was going to be available.
Oh yeah.
It was like Steam, Xbox, Xbox S, Xbox Game Pass, and I was like, anything else? No. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's
the PlayStation people are probably gonna have to take some lumps for a minute.
Yeah.
Or hoping. Get Game Pass on your PC. Your laptop's still good. I told you, man. Plug it in TV.
No.
Plug it into the TV. It'll feel like a console. I'm telling you, man.
It's too much work.
It's a one cord you're plugging in, for Christ's sake.
So, are you done with Annapurna?
Only one little fun addition, because I did notice throughout their things a lot of the partnerships that they did, and one that I'm looking forward to seeing what fruit this bears.
Okay.
Was Davey Redden and Carla Zamonja have teamed up to form a studio called Ivy Road.
That's right.
Davey Redden was the creator of Stanley Parable and The Beginner's Guide, as they mentioned, and Carla Zamonja was co-creator of Gone Home. So when I heard I loved Gone Home, I loved Stanley Parable, I'm excited to see. They totally said they're not allowed to say anything yet. It's still so early. They just had a cute little skit of them breaking tea open together and then pretending to drink tea and this whole nonsense. But I'm here for it because I love both of those games and I liked his style of humor in the Stanley Parable. So I'm looking forward to see what Ivy Road and Annapurna does together. So that was the last thing that I had written in there to keep our eye on.
You saw this. I just now saw it. But I just wanted to interject for a moment. Our good friend Dava.
Yes. Oh, yes.
Gave us an answer to a question to one of our minis, which I probably could have looked this up. I just didn't have.
In the moment we were in the game show,
But Dave is always a wonderful supplier of information.
Right?
So he let us know if you listen to our super fun quiz show episode, which I had a lot of fun with.
I did too.
It was a lot of fun.
It really was.
That was a fun question.
Game shows and to get to play one like that. I was like in hog heaven, you guys.
Fun questions. Remember, that's what I said.
Yes,
anyway,
they were all fun.
That's a fun question. We were talking about the kill screen we said that there were 256 levels in Pac-Man. That's the kill screen. Dava explained on Twitter, and I didn't see this yesterday, but he let us know, and I'm going to share the information with you, or you can go read it on Twitter, whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
The kill screen on level 256 of Pac-Man is because 256 is 2 to the 8th power. I think that's what he's trying to say. And the level count...
He's much smarter than I am, so I don't know.
He is
He is much smarter than I am.
I'm going to say it. He's genius level.
Really?
Anyway, the level count is stored as an 8-bit integer. The game adds 1 to the level count to try and calculate the fruit counter for the level, which causes an underflow. The result is that the game tries to add way too many fruits to the level and overflows that counter and has no way to deal with this problem, just draws junk data once it has no idea how to proceed. And you know, there was even a guy who I'm guessing is a friend of his. Actually,
I was gonna say, did you see the picture? Yeah.
Yeah, he shared a picture of the kill screen.
What a mess, huh?
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's so go check that out on Twitter.
What a mess that became, but it was interesting. So yeah, thank you for that. Thank you for that, because like I have the memory of a fruit fly. Like I wouldn't have thought to go look it up again after we were done. Like any person, I guess, could have, but it was fun.
And even better, you responded, "Thank you." It was very interesting. He said, "Anytime, you gave me a game show after all." So apparently he was excited about the game show.
I hope he's like me when you watch game shows. You got to play. It's the only way they're fun. You sit at home and play, you know?
So, yeah, I didn't get this. I'm sorry I didn't get this until now. And the only reason I even noticed it now is because I was looking up games and it just kind of popped up. So there you go.
It popped up.
Yeah.
There you go. Thank you, Deva.
Yes, thank you, David. Anyway, continue. I'm sorry.
No, that was it from the Annapurna Showcase. The only other little bit of news that caught my eye that maybe to pass along, it looks like they're working on it, though, at this point, but I found this kind of interesting. So Amazon's new MMO, New World, had the beta, as I'm sure most of us had heard. Might have a little problem here. I would be effing concerned about this, but it's been bricking some GPUs. Yeah.
New
3090s. $1,500 investments in a day and age where you can't just pick one of those up at the next corner store, yo. You're going to be sitting without for a minute. Unless you've got God money and could just buy a new one, I guess, off of eBay for a ridiculous amount. But, yeah, apparently, let me go back to this page right here because I had to highlight the one thing because, oh, my God, I was floored that this happened. They say it's not a widespread issue. Of course, they want to put that out. But, of course, we've had a few people now say it. If you have a few people, there's more. It started to be a problem. But they are aware that apparently it was getting so high in frames and everything that it was using 100% of it, and then it overheated, then it was just done. And it seemed to be specifically the EVGA brands seem to be the most affected, according to this article that I was reading, although... you know, it might have been different brands as well. But yeah, so they're suggesting going in and turning it down to like a set frame rate at 30 or 60 in there. Because I guess if you just kind of let it go on its own high settings, it'll just keep pulling and going too high. And then eventually you had this problem. It was just interesting to me that it was the 3090s. The one I would think would handle it better than some of the other ones or even older cards. I don't know, but careful, I guess, if you were in on that and have a brand spanking shiny new GPU, go in there and set those settings, man, and protect your baby, because we're not in a day and age where that is just easy to go grab again, and the 3090s are not cheap, even MSRP.
I mean, I'd be asking Bezos to be replacing my GPU.
Oh my God, right? I mean, we'll see how this like ends up, because of course this was from a couple of weeks ago when they first started hearing about it. But again, you know, we were on break and all that kind of stuff, so we didn't talk about it then. But yeah, just be careful if you're doing that. They were saying that it was definitely the power spikes and overheating caused uncapped frame rates in the game menu. So you're gonna have to go set it and set your driver's settings to have frame rate limiters. if it's even still a problem for you, or if you're sitting there without a computer right now, I'm sorry. Like, oh my God, I don't even know if I could handle the amount of anger that would rise up in me if I got my hands on a 3090 and then this game broke it. Like, I don't know how I would handle it, if I'm honest with you. And I feel like I'm a pretty rational person when things go wrong. You know, mistakes happen, things happen. But my God, no, that might be where my breaking point is. And I know we're going super long, but I did want to kind of tell this one. I had a couple like weird newsies that I thought was interesting. So apparently in 5 states now, in 5 states, Colorado, Hawaii, Oregon, Vermont, Washington, 6, California, have passed a new law about select configurations on computers because they're drawing too much energy. And you're not allowed to buy them in those states. What? So the Dell, I guess, was the most honed in on because of its Alienware, Aurora R10, and R12 gaming PCs. Because I guess they draw just more power than their other gaming PCs. And they use a much more powerful chip, all this kind of stuff. So Dell and them are having to configure some of these models so they don't draw as much energy, which I just thought was hilarious that we're the ones causing problems in these states for energy inefficiency. So I can't buy a souped up gaming PC, but we have no regulations on those actually polluting the air. Okay. So if you live in one of those 5 states, I'm sorry. It sounds like you can't buy a beast if you want to buy a beast right now.
You can't tell me that they generate the most power of anything in the state. No.
Apparently, though, residential computers and computer monitors account for up to 2.9% of the electricity consumption in most populous U.S. states, according to a California report. 2.9%.
2.9. Not 20.
Nope.
2.9. Which means that there's probably something larger out there.
Oh, for sure. Manufacturers, warehouses.
So I'm confused.
This is their regulations they would have pushed out, and apparently California's went into effect July 1st.
That doesn't make any sense.
It's the part of their reduced greenhouse gas emissions. Climate
No, they're blaming something indirectly.
Well, I mean, I'm sure there's probably some large corporations that would like to abuse that 2.9% before everything has to get shut down. So I don't know. That's the skeptic in me going, okay, which corporation wanted it? And that was the only way they could see to make sure that they could get just a little bit more pollution out of themselves and then pass it on to us.
Yeah. Okay, well, whatever.
Well, anyway, yeah. So, just a couple of quick hits, and I'll go through it fast just because there's 2 on here that I definitely do want to mention. Steam Deck, duh. Yeah. But the only thing I'm going to say here, and I know it's old, like we've been talking about a little while, don't buy it on eBay, guys. You can still get it on Steam. You'll just have to wait. You'll just have to wait a little bit. It's fine. They're not saying you can't have it. They're not saying that it's going to run out. And the fact that people were putting them on eBay already for like $20,000 was just ridiculous. And I am kind of happy that they did crack down on it at the time, because they do have a rule that apparently you have to have the goods within a certain period of time. And when you're trying to sell a pre-order that's not even maybe available till December of this year, you're a little past that 30 days, I think. Don't do it. Please stop feeding them. That's all I'm going to say on that. Please don't do it. You can get one. You just might have to wait a year.
I know that...
It's cool.
I don't know if I've ever talked about this before, but you just kind of made me think. Would there be a way for these companies to track what system got sold to a scalper?
Well, they did try something new, which I will give them accolades for, was where for a lot of the reservations, you have to have a Steam account and had to have it for a certain period of time. So that that would at least stop a lot of same day bots creating it to try to swoop them up. So I will give them accolades about that. There was some backfire because some people who had their account like 7+ years was denied. So they had a little kinks that had to be worked out with the system. But I mean, I have to at least applaud them for that attempt, because I found that it seemed like an interesting way to try to attack the problem. Like, you have to have a Steam account, had to have been around for a really long time. You're the first ones who can have it. And I should have looked it up, but I didn't look up how long they wanted you to have your account. But it was long enough that you couldn't have just made it today and then expect to have booked it and reserved it the next day. But again, you push a new thing, there were some bugs, and then some people got denied. It was kind of funny looking at some of the pictures that they were like, I've had my Steam account for 7 years, for 10 years. I was told I need to have it longer. It's like, how long do I got to give you money, Valve? You know? Like, it's been a long time. But it looks cool. Not going to lie, I reserved one. Just because, like, if I decide to back out, there's still time. I wasn't. Yeah. My lottery draw apparently isn't until June of next year, I think, 2022. So fine, whatever. And also keep that in mind. Those people that were selling their confirmations, that was a confirmation for an invitation. Do not spend your money on that stuff on eBay. It was a confirmation for an invitation. So even those people, it was $5 to reserve people. There's no way that this is like guaranteeing you anything. It's just guaranteeing you hopefully the right to be invited to buy it when it goes out first. So don't do it. Jesus Christ, don't do it. But it does look cool. It will have keyboard and mouse support. You will be able to play your games. It will have a nice little 7-inch screen. It's got AMD chip. I'm just saying, it's like, they will have a dock. Does have cloud saves. I mean, it does sound cool, but it is Valve, so I try to take it with a grain of salt, because sometimes they don't continue to support their hardware stuff for very long, so that's why I want to wait. But let's see, what was the last one? And Netflix confirmed that their video games that they're adding to their service will not be an extra charge, supposedly. So all of us that are leeching, good news.
Woo!
If you were concerned you were going to have to ask your friend or whatever to buy the gaming portion for you, you don't have to. You don't have to.
What are we thinking this is going to be? Like another Google Stadia, another Amazon Luna?
I don't know why in my head it's like, since they started dipping their toe in like the interactive movies, I feel like that would be it. Because if it's on a Netflix service, not everyone's going to use it on a console, right? Some people have it on Fire Stick, on their smart TV, all this kind of stuff. I feel like it would have to be more in that line, right? Like, to be able to use a remote control to play, unless they plan on selling some sort of hardware down the line, which I wouldn't be surprised, to work with Netflix gaming. Like, you have to buy your own controller that'll Bluetooth talk to it or whatever. I could see that being an option, but right? Or maybe like, I'm stuck on the interactive movie thing.
Right now, they're saying, "Oh, it won't cost you anymore." It will. Give it time. It will.
Have to, right?
They will sucker you in
to make games, I would imagine.
Yeah, because right now it sounds like a sweet deal. It's like, hey, look what you're getting just because you're a Netflix subscriber. Games. Now you can play games. Cool, great. And then you're into it for maybe a year.
Oh yeah.
And then they'll be like, hey, I know that you've been paying this amount. They'll send you that email. We're going to increase your rate for the next year because, things change.
Right.
You act like they're the victim. We're giving you all this.
We held out as long as we possibly could.
So, because you're such a great subscriber, you've been with us we're only going to bump it up just a couple of dollars.
Just a couple bucks.
It's okay. You won't even notice.
No.
Then they'll do it again in a couple of years.
They'll remind you of all of the things you're getting for that $2. But to be fair, I don't blame them. Like, I was kind of surprised when they were saying it would be an extra charge. So that's why I'm like trying to think of what would be the most economical way to put games on your system if you're not going to charge extra. Unless, I don't know.
But think about it. I remember when I was paying $7.99 for Netflix. $7.99.
And that was that back in the day, though, when you had to mail the videos back and forth?
Sure.
I think that was how much I paid when it was still snail mail Netflix.
even when it was early streaming, when they were just getting it out there, $7.99, $20 freaking dollars now. 20.
Yeah.
That's to even have 4K support.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
See, I don't need all that. Well, maybe I will soon.
You will now.
Ah! Oh, yeah, I didn't. Whatever. That's a whole other thing.
But
you guys
isn't
can
that-
just wonder.
Isn't that some bullshit, though?
Right?
Because it's like, you want 4K? You're going to have to pay for that. It's like,
I don't know.
what are you
I'll
talking
let you
about?
know when I'm addicted to 4K.
It won't
If
take
I
long.
feel it was worth it.
It won't take long. Trust me.
I had such hand-me-down HD sort of for so long. I'll be like, oh, is
Yeah.
it real people in my house? I
When
don't know. That's
she's-
how I felt when HD first became a thing. I thought it looked too weird and creepy, and I wasn't going to like it.
Oh, once your games start looking pristine, you'll never go
I don't know
back.
that I have any games in 4K.
Doesn't matter. Your
Oh,
your
yeah? Mm-hmm.
PlayStation 4, you got a PlayStation 4, right? Is it a Pro?
No, it's the OG. It's
Oh.
like been trying to die for a lot of years now.
Well, then I don't know.
It struggle buses to do a lot of things.
It'll still look pretty good. So
Excellent. Perfect. And then last one, because it's freaking exciting to me, and I hope it'll actually work out in the way we hope. State signed a new bill to invest in U.S.-based technology companies with $52 billion pointed at the semiconductor industry alone, which could mean immense relief around the globe with the global chip shortage. If you remember, that's been what's kind of holding a lot of these things back with not finding systems and things like that. So I'm hoping those of us who've been trying for over a year to build a new PC again, maybe we actually can soon. I don't know. We'll see. But that to me was good news. I'm hoping it'll turn it around like that and make everything a little bit more available and put out there and a little bit more tech savvy. And please, because goddamn, I want a GPU. I just want it, and I want them to be more plentiful so this isn't a problem. And just to be able to build a PC. So I thought that was cool. I wanted to share it. So apparently we've put $52 billion into it. So hopefully, some relief will start to be seen, and it will be more accessible and easier for us to buy.
Good.
Coming up soon, and hopefully won't last till the end of 2022 like they first thought.
Mm-hmm.
So that's it. I'm going to stop. There's so much more on there, but you and I have talked so much. You siblings have gotten your fair share.
Yeah.
You've gotten your fair share, and I don't know what lovely, amazing headliner we have to end the show today and how much time Steven might need.
Honestly,
I don't want it to be a 4-hour show. But
no.
it can happen.
Honestly, I decided today would not be a headliner because I knew we would.
You knew we would be chatting
We would be,
Cathy's.
we would have so much to catch up on and talk about. So I decided to forego a headliner because we're catching up.
Yeah, we are.
But next
That's
week,
why I wrote 2 different versions here, because I knew I was like, I have a lot in here, but we've never been at a lack for words.
no, but next week, ho 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 ho,
Oh yeah.
ho ho, and then the week after, oh ho.
Oh man. See, I don't even know. I'm left in the dark. It's exciting.
Yeah, I have been plotting and planning stuff. We'll see if you enjoy it or not. I think I've got some good stuff coming, but we'll see.
I'm sure it's great. Your headliners are always fun, and I'm always into it. I
I
like
try.
that you write them like story time, and then I can
I
just sit
do.
here and be like, it's like I'm getting to listen to a fun story. And
That's
I love it.
that's what I want. I want to not really. I don't want to embellish it. That's what I do, and try to make it fun for you, the listener, about these factual, truthful stories that happen within our gaming world, and it's fun history.
Yep.
At least I think it is.
And that clearly I forget in time for game shows.
And if I don't feel that it's fun or interesting, I'm not gonna tell you the story.
Yeah.
Eventually, I'm gonna run out. I'm sure.
No,
But-
we'll have new ones maybe by then.
But
We'll be so old that the stuff we're talking about now will need the deep dives.
But oh my goodness, the things I have coming up, the things I have planned. Oh my God, you might even don't quote me on this,
I don't know if I can handle it.
but you might get a 3-parter. What? Because I found a big story.
Ooh, I'm excited now.
And
I'm excited now.
I don't know if I can condense it properly. So I'm just saying you might get a 3-parter. Depending on how I can form it.
Well, we'll do that, and I'll make sure to leave plenty of room. Leave plenty of room for it, because I'm here for it. Well, siblings, thanks for coming back. I hope your summer was well. I hope you did fun things. And I hope you tell us about the games you played. Go check out some indies from that showcase, man, in Annapurna. Go tell me what you think.
Yes.
But that's our show, I guess, then, hey?
Mm-hmm.
Like I just said, hit us up sometime on Twitter at SuperMegaCrash. You can send us an email over to supermegacrash@gmail.com. Don't forget, you can also follow us over at Instagram. You can view the weekly icon art that Steven puts his time and love into. And you can also support the show by liking and leaving reviews on your preferred platform, or go to patreon.com/Pencil Paper Productions. Support the show there, too. Get some new, I don't know, maybe you'll get to see the Super Mega Crash first. Maybe
you can watch them right now.
Ooh. Oh, yeah. There you go. You can be first. See? So, also, you can find us on Pencil and Paper Podcast Network, or Apple Podcasts, Podbean, Spotify, Google Play, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, Pandora, Amazon Music, and even youtube.com/Pencil and Paper Productions.
Plus a few other new podcast platforms that have popped up over the last month that I
might just have to say wherever you listen.
Wherever you listen. Reason was one that just, I don't know what that is, but it just.
But we're on there now?
We're on there.
Anchor.
There
you go. Okay, so we're just from now on being like, you know what? Wherever you like to listen to us,
we are everywhere.
We're probably there. Mm-hmm. We've taken over, man. Thanks to you.
Investing.
Thanks to you guys.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks to you guys. But, I mean, seriously, thank you for listening. I'm Lacey Finley.
And I am Stephen White.
And please join us again next week, Super Mega Crash siblings. But until then,
game on.
This has been a Pencil and Paper Podcast Network production.